this.
Okay, I started it now.
Hello.
I thought we were about to have a fight.
Why?
Because you were like, do I ever do that to you when I started the podcast?
Yeah, because Megan's like, I'm like trying to sit my butt down, and Megan's like, Kelly, I'm gonna start the podcast. Well, I'm literally across the room, like trying to eat my avocado.
But I think it makes good content. That's what I said. And then Kelly was like, do I do that to you?
No, I have never done that to you.
But then I thought we should start it now because then they can hear us fight. We've been making jokes that we should like pretend to fight in front of our friends because
hey, they're gonna hear this now though.
I know. We weren't actually gonna do it.
What do you mean? I would so be down.
We could not successfully pretend to fight and actually be mad at each other
That's
long enough to convince people that we're actually fighting.
I would laugh too much. Because
Yes.
I'm just I'm a laughy person.
Did you eat the other half of that avocado?
I ate like a quarter of that half.
Oh.
Hello and welcome back to M&K Unscripted. Today we will be talking about adulting and avocados.
Yes.
So
we just ate our avocado / Kelly's avocado.
It was my avocado.
Thank you for the
I
contribution.
Ate a half and a quarter. So that would be 3/4.
And I ate enough to say that I ate the avocado.
I love me an avocado. Like, some people might think this is insane, but I just like scoop out the avocado. Like, I'll cut it in half and then I just use a spoon and I scoop it out and I eat it.
Yeah, I do like avocado and I do enjoy it sometimes like that, but it's not my usual way to eat it. I feel like if I eat an avocado, it's like on toast with slices of tomato on top. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
With tomato?
And sometimes salt.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I do like a salted avocado.
Okay, well, I like avocado toast with tomatoes on top.
I've never heard of with tomatoes. That is an interesting way to go.
It's good.
Yeah.
You should try it sometime.
Maybe I should because I dig an avocado. Okay, I'm just gonna... sometimes I say things and I'm like, wow, that was
That's
cringy.
funny. We could restart. We're only 2 minutes
No, we're
in.
not restarting this. That's not how M&K Unscripted. I want you guys to know we have only re-recorded one, and that was at the very beginning. And that was our dating one.
Now we know what we're doing.
Yeah, so...
Yes. I also like guacamole. I'm a fan.
You have been talking for the past week, like every single day, multiple times. You're like, man, I really could go for some guac and chips right now.
Okay, so like a week and a half ago, we went to a friend's house and I hadn't eaten yet and it was like 6:15 and I was famished and they had this container of guac and chips and I ate half the container.
She really did.
I really, like, that's not exaggerating. I just like kept scooping and I was like, maybe I should stop. This is for like the whole group. Mm-hmm. I ate half the container.
You did.
It was so good.
What is in guacamole? Like, I know it's avocados.
Avocados. Sometimes there's like tomatoes and then it's onion and lime and salt.
So really, it's pretty healthy.
Yeah, that's good.
Huh.
It's probably pretty salty and like if you buy it at a store, it's probably processed, but
honestly, I would low-key just eat like guacamole, but it'd just be an avocado. Like, you know?
Then it's not guacamole.
But like,
you fool.
What? Like, if you just put a like, what the heck am I saying?
If you just put a guacamole.
I meant to say avocado. If you just put an avocado, like, just on my chip, like, I just would eat that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's bad. That's
but
fine.
You're making it seem like it's weird.
Well, it's not guacamole, and that is kind of weird.
Guacamole is basically just avocado. Like, you don't really
with
put
like
that
other
much,
things,
but like only a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. That's like it's not like I'm saying like I'm gonna eat flour instead of like a cake. Like that's just no. You know, like guacamole is just basically just an avocado, but like on steroids.
Okay, I like guacamole better than avocados.
Okay. That's fair.
Now we should talk about adulting.
Yeah, we should. The way that
Kelly's passionate about avocados.
Apparently. See, I always discover this about myself when I start talking about it on the podcast. I'm like, man, I didn't know I had this many thoughts about
I didn't know I was as passionate about avocados.
For real.
It's an avocado.
Thanks.
Oh. That's for our Vine listeners out there. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. Adulting. I'm really interested what you have on your list because I feel like I just kind of threw this together, as I always do.
That's how we always do this.
I know, but like I felt like I didn't actually think through this one very much. So hopefully we have some stuff. But I thought we should preface with what we mean by adulting. A good old definition to start.
Oh, yes. We love that.
We do. We love. What do you, when you think of adulting, like what do you mean?
Okay, so I'm approaching this podcast. So we've been out of college for 9 months now. 8 months.
Dang, that's a long time.
Yeah. So we're talking about adulting, I feel like we're going to be talking a lot about the transition from college into no longer being a student and into like full-time work. But like not necessarily just in like full-time work, but like in the things that I guess there are like some things that I expected coming out of college, but then there's just a lot of things that I'm like, wow, I never thought I would have to think about this, but now I do because I'm like officially an adult sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I'm approaching that. I don't know if you had a similar definition or a different perspective.
Yeah, I feel like a clear cut would be like post graduation when we started our full-time jobs and like permanently moved out of our parents' houses.
Mm-hmm.
But also I feel like some of the things on my list like kind of started like some like traits of being an adult or like responsibilities of adulting kind of started in college already when we had our own apartment.
Yeah.
Like, for example, just like not living at home anymore and like all the things that come with not living at my parents' house anymore. Like, I feel like that kind of already was started when I was in college.
Yeah, I think in some capacity, but in like in some ways I feel like college was such a like I feel like it was a transition between like moving out and officially becoming an adult.
Yeah, okay.
Because like I don't feel like I was an adult in college, but not in the same level that I am now.
Okay, so we should just talk about post college. That's fine.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, let's do that. That's fine.
Yeah. So I was just as I was thinking about this podcast, I had limited thoughts when I haven't prepared a whole lot.
Oh.
So we're just gonna see how this goes.
We can't both not prepare. Hold on.
That's how it literally. This is the point of our podcast.
That's true.
We can't tell our listeners that though. Just ignore that. We actually like are super prepared. Anyways, so now you know. Actually, when we say something really smart, we probably didn't think about that beforehand. So we're like actually smart, and we didn't like
And we're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
but
funny.
Anyways, not to toot my own horn or anything. Toot. Okay.
Anyways.
What I was saying is that I was trying to think of like all the things that I've done or gotten or experienced since graduating college that like are like major life events. Like since college, I've bought a car. I've got car insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I started renting an apartment. I got renter's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I got my first full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
I officially moved out of my parents' house. Like, I mean, I still like go home sometimes and stay with them, but like, it's not the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the main three things. What other things have I done? I don't even know. Like,
well, kind of with the full-time job, like, I was really big into like finance stuff this summer now that I actually have like a steady income to work with. And so like me, like I started a Roth IRA, which
me too.
Very adulty. I started investing through work. That's fun. Now I have dental and eye insurance. I'm still on my parents' medical insurance, but
I'm not. I'm like fully.
Yeah. Kelly has all her insurances.
Apparently. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Off. Just kidding.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Car payment. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm no longer a student. Like, I have been a student since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
And like, I no longer am pursuing a degree in anything.
Yeah. I just said this yesterday, but this year, 2025, will be the first year in so long that I won't have homework.
Yeah.
Because we had still had homework last year, which is weird. Like, that's weird to think about that, like, now I'm at a point. But also, like, I really don't miss homework. Like, I haven't missed homework at all. But it's just, like, a weird concept that, like, this will be the first full year that I'm, like, an adult with a job and an apartment and insurance.
Like, yeah.
And a Roth IRA. All these adulty things.
You're on your own.
I know. That's weird.
Which is why, like, so many times. So when I was younger, I was always like, oh, my gosh, like, people in high school are so old. Or, like, sixth graders are so old when I was just, like, a kindergartner, or like junior high students are so old. And I was like, now it's like college students are so old. And then I thought, oh, people that are like out of college are so old. Now I'm here, I'm like, bruh, I don't even know what I'm doing in my life. And like, I am what I thought was like old and like established in your life. And so I feel like my perspective of like age or like what you're supposed to know you're doing with your life is just so different now that I'm actually in it.
Yeah, that's something I was going to talk about actually on my list. Like, my concept of age now, that because we're both 22, 22 and a half, and like I have friends that are 19 and I have friends that are 35, and like it's just such a strange, like, and all in between, which is just like
Mm-hmm.
so weird to me that when I was in high school I pretty much only hung out with people in my grade, and in college like sometimes I would go to like the grades like above me and below me, and like now I'm friends with people that are like 10 years older than me, more than that.
Yeah.
And it's like normal. Like, it's, I don't know, I feel like it was such a big deal to be friends with people of different ages when I was younger, and now that I am 22 and I'm not in college anymore, like nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just like a really weird concept that I didn't actually think about until I'm here now.
Yeah.
It's happening.
And even within that age range, like there are people in so many different stages of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are people that are students. There are people that are married and have kids. There are people that are married that don't have kids. There are people that aren't in relationships. There are people that are in like short-term relationships, long-term relationships, like people that have houses, people that live in their parents' house, people that are renting an apartment. Like it's actually insane how
Mm-hmm.
different everybody's lives are, even like people our age.
Yeah.
Like we have friends that are married.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah.
That are like pregnant. That have babies.
Who's pregnant?
I can't say it on the
Well, do
podcast.
I know?
You would know.
Okay.
Maybe not like close friends, but people who know.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'm trying to think now.
Well,
Anyway,
we don't have to
that
figure
doesn't
it out.
matter. It's fine. Whatever.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Off script, off the podcast.
Yeah, I feel like that's just really interesting. It also makes me, you know, when you were younger and people were like, yeah, once you get out of college, like age doesn't matter. Like it's fine. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, but also like I don't believe you kind of thing. But like now that I'm here, I'm like, wow, age really is just a number,
Yeah,
which is just weird.
it is. What are some of the unexpected things now that you're out of college? Like I kind of have a list, and so I'm curious if you have thoughts.
I had that question for you exactly, and I don't have a list. So can you go first?
Yes. Um so for some context, when I was in college, if you listen to the college podcast, you might know this. But like I had no idea what I was doing post college, and I kind of had this like sense of like I don't want to say doom, but a little bit of doom of like, oh my gosh, my life is going to be over when I graduate. Like I don't know. Like I knew who I was, but I also like know who I am so much more than I did even in college, and I still don't like I'm still figuring things out. But like now that I'm out of college and like am living my life as an adult, I don't miss college as much as I thought I would. And like
Mm,
that is probably the first time you're hearing me say that.
yeah.
But like I I loved college and I think it was really great in the time that I was there. But now I've never felt like more like myself or more confident in who I am and like just my ability to like be independent. Like we literally went on a trip for the first time like on a plane without like parents. And I was like, I mean, I could have done that in college, but I didn't. And I was like, wow, I like don't miss feeling confined or like feeling like I'm not independent. Like I never had a car, like my own car, until I bought my first car post college. And I'm like, wow, I can literally go where I want when I want to. And like I don't miss like having a whole bunch of homework, which I do like homework and I do miss like some of the academic part of college. But like even the social aspect, like it was really great, but I thought like how am I going to make friends outside of school? And now I like have so many friends and it's
Mm-hmm.
like so incredible and I have such a great community and none of these people went to my college and I'm like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is great. Like I don't actually miss college as much as I thought I would. And like my life has gone on. And I didn't know where it was going to go. And now I'm like, okay. So I'm an adult now. That's just how adulting works.
Yeah, I
So
feel
that's
like we're very lucky with our friends because I agree. Like, I feel like, I guess one thing that was unexpected when I was in college thinking about post college, I thought I would have so much free time. which is funny now because I have like no free time. Like I never read a book anymore, which also like that's on me. I feel like I could prioritize that. But when I was in college, I was like, oh, I'm not going to have homework anymore. I'm not going to have all these extracurricular activities. Like I'm not going to go out as much on the weekends. Like I'm going to have just have so much time to like be super well rested. I'm going to go to the gym all the time. I'm going to like cook for myself all the time. I'm going to read all the time. Like I sew. I was like, oh, I'm going to have time to sew. I'm going to have time to paint and play the piano and like all these little like hobbies that I have accumulated but I don't have time for. And I don't do any of those things. I don't have time for any of them, which also again, like I feel like I realize that I'm prioritizing like my social life more and like forming new relationships. So like we spend a lot of time like with our friends and like I spend a lot of time with like different kinds of friends and I don't know, I just feel like every night I have something going on and like we'll go to like sporting events and things like that and like church groups and like I'll still like go and see my family and that takes like a day out of the week and I don't know, I feel like I thought I was going to just like be able to come back to my apartment and like just have free time and be like super peaceful and quiet. And again, like I could prioritize that if I wanted to, but now I realize like I can still be busy like I was in college. And honestly, I get less sleep now than I did in college because I'm just like, oh, I just have work tomorrow. Like it's fine. I can stay up till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like that's not really sustainable, but also I'm young. So like I feel like this is the time to do it.
What you just said there about you being young, that was one of my unexpected things of I felt like once I graduated college and like became an adult, in air quotes, you can't see that, but I'm doing air quotes, that I thought I would have to act old.
Hmm.
Like that I couldn't still be young and like do fun things and like I don't know, I feel like I've found so much random joy in life now that I'm like out of college and like adulting that I didn't expect. That I like thought, oh, now I have to like act like I'm old and like not do anything fun and just I don't even know. Just like sit around. But now I'm like I'm out doing things. I'm out late. Like
Mm-hmm.
my dad sometimes texts me. He's like, "How late did you stay out last night?" And I was like, "Way later than you would have wanted me to." But I'm out and I'm doing fun things. And like yeah, like I'm busy too, but I feel like a lot of it is like I'm choosing to be that busy and it's not just like things I have to do. Like yes, I have to go to work. That's something I have to do. And like I don't know. I have to like exercise, which I haven't been doing as much lately. But like things of like I should do this during my day. But like a lot of the busyness I feel like comes from things that are like bringing me a lot of joy and like spending time with friends and like doing things that I love and want to do. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I was talking about this with my brother. It was probably might have been a month or so ago. But I was saying how like I have something like almost every night of the week and like every day during the weekend and I'm like I'm just like so busy that's crazy. And he's like, "Yeah, but this is the time in your life like where like you have no responsibilities." Like my brother's now like married, has kids, goes to bed early, lives a boring life compared to like what I want to live right now. And so then I feel like I don't know, like I'm living just such a fun social life and like I don't have any pets, I don't have any kids, like it's just me and you in this apartment and like it's just like live a fun life. It's like life is fun and like I feel like I didn't realize how much freedom I would have after college when I was in college.
Mhm.
But
It's so exciting.
yeah, it's fun. I like being an
I
adult.
love my 20s.
Yeah.
I'm like everybody's like your 20s are so great and I was like I don't know, like I'm just a girl like I got school. It's not like super fun, but I'm like I can literally do what I want. Like I don't have kids, like I don't have to be home at a certain time. I can just go out and like do whatever and like I know it just depends on where you are in your life, but like right now that is where I am in my life and so it's really exciting.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder what it'll feel like to like want to settle down and like have a family. Because right now I'm like, man, I don't want that. I'm young. But also like I could see myself wanting that in a couple years. But I don't know. I'm just like such not in that stage of life right now. It's kind of
Mhm.
weird because also like going back to our friends, like some of our friends are in such different stages of life where like Kelly said, they literally have kids and are married. And we're just in such different places that I'm like, this is weird that like we're friends, but like we're just so different in that way.
Mm. Sometimes I'm surprised with like how young we actually are. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I thought we were old until we hang out with all of our friends and they're in their late 20s and then they're like, "Yeah, you guys are babies." And I'm like, "Oh,
I'm
okay."
like, I guess I'm a baby. I'm not used to being a baby. I guess I am, but like also not, you know?
Yeah, it depends on the context that you're in and the
Yeah.
people you're hanging around.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about work just a little
Okay.
bit. Cuz I know we're both in a unique situation in our workplace where we are like the youngest person in our
Hmm.
like coworker group. How do you feel about that?
I that's actually so weird that you asked that because I was literally thinking about that today because I'm going to this workshop and I was like looking at all the people that are going to be there and it's like I'm the youngest one like by at least a decade.
Mhm.
Maybe not actually because I didn't look at everyone, but like I'm significantly younger. Sometimes that makes me feel like an imposter
Mhm.
because I'm like what do I know like in this world? Like I literally just graduated college. Like I haven't had this job for that long and like a lot of the things that I'll like go and when I'll join a meeting or something, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on." And they're using all these big words and like I think I'm a smart person, but like when I'm in these scenarios, I like sometimes feel like a little dumb and I don't like feeling dumb.
Mhm.
But like I also don't want to be that person that's like, "What does this mean?" And they're like, "Well, duh, like this is like common lingo," which nobody would actually say that because like I work with really good people. But like I just feel like that sometimes.
Mhm.
And so I feel a little bit like, what am I doing here? Like I'm only 22 and like these people have like master's degrees and like PhDs and like have been in their position for a long time. Like in a lot of ways it's cool because I really like having mentors and like people that like I really like learning from people and like asking for advice on things. And so it's a cool opportunity in the scenario that I'm in, but also it's like sometimes I feel like an odd duck a little bit because they couldn't like they could look at me and I could be like with a whole bunch of students and they wouldn't know that I'm graduated and like have a degree sort of
Mhm.
thing. So
Mhm.
sometimes that's makes me a little bit self-conscious of like aware of how young I am in comparison.
Yeah. I feel like also we're in a unique situation. Like this is our very first year out of college and like we're working in like a workplace, which I don't know.
Huh?
I feel like what am I
Sorry.
trying to say? We're like adults, but also like I am just a girl. Like what qualifications do I have to be working a
Yeah.
full-time job? Like all of my coworkers could be my parent. Like they're that old. And I'm like this is just weird. Like I was just talking about this the other day, but like I don't know, I agree. It makes me feel like an imposter and like who am I to be like making responsible adult decisions? Like I don't have any qualifications except I literally have a bachelor's degree, so that's not true. But it just like feels like I'm not supposed to because I'm just a kid.
Hmm.
Especially when everybody's like so much older than me. I feel like I feel that. And also like I think it's partially because we work at a college.
Yeah.
We've said that before, right? I can
I
say
think so, yeah.
yeah. Because also like some people like are still in college and are older than us or like
Hmm.
the same age as us or a couple months younger than us. And like now
Hmm.
I'm just supposed to like be a full-time employee like while you're at this college and I'm not a student anymore. Like I'm a full-time employee. And it's just kind
Yeah.
of a weird dynamic I feel like because of where we work. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of strange. And I mean it's gotten better like cuz now all the freshmen that come into college are like really young compared to me. So I'm like it's
Hmm.
okay. But it just is weird. I don't know.
Yeah. You know where I really think about that? It's with teachers. Like
Mm.
people our age, like literally teaching like high schoolers or I don't know, even people teaching like elementary school age. I'm like it's just so wild to me that like I have a lot of appreciation for teachers. So like it's not trying to come off as like I don't know, like aggressive. But I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh my gosh, like these people that just graduated college are like literally educating other people."
Mhm.
I'm like, "That's crazy to me
Mhm.
that you just like get a bachelor's degree and now you're like qualified to just like teach people. You don't even need a bachelor's degree in some like private schools to like teach somebody."
Yeah.
And like I feel like I know a decent amount of like young teachers and like I have a lot of appreciation for them, but I'm like I can't even imagine like I do not Like I have my life together in like some aspects, and in other aspects I'm like I don't. And I'm like, that is crazy that these people are just like teaching like literal kids, you know?
I know. I feel like that's weird. Like, just the workplace has now become our primary responsibility. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my job is like my livelihood. Like, that's how I get my money. That's how I afford everything in my life. That is where I go every morning and
Mm-hmm.
stay for 8 hours every day of the week. Like, I don't know. It's just weird that like that is now my primary responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like all the all the perks that come from being a full-time employee are just things I've never experienced before, like having retirement and like I get benefits at work now. Like that's weird. I get like vacation time that I can just leave. Like that wasn't a thing before. And like when you have like a part-time job, I feel like you don't really think about things like that. But like now I can just like get paid for being sick and I can like take vacation time and it's okay. And like some days if I just want to leave early, I can just like take vacation time and leave early. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. I remember over like winter break, like Christmas time, I was like hanging out with friends and you were there. And I was like, "Meh, I'm getting paid to hang out with you guys." And I like literally was.
Yeah.
Like I was getting paid to like just live my life. And I was like, this is crazy. Like that was just vacation that they just gave us.
I know.
And like granted that was something that like we got a decent amount of days off that not everybody is able to get off. So we were very lucky in that regard. But
Yeah. But like
it's cool.
vacation is just like a normal part of being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something maybe not unexpected, but something I am now realizing is like cool.
Yeah, like if I wanted to take a day off in college, it was like I was paying to be there, you know?
Yeah.
Like this time they pay me.
Yeah. Which
I'm
is
like, oh.
cool. I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, there's something that is like so empowering about having your own money and like making money and like even paying bills, which like I don't like to pay bills. I'm not a huge person that loves to talk about money because I really don't. I really hate that. But like paying my own bills and being like, yeah, I paid my car insurance. That's right, I did. Like I earned that money and I'm paying for this car. Like
Mm-hmm.
or like paying my renter's insurance. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Or like getting my groceries. I'm like, yeah, it's my credit card. Like I did that. Like this is my hard work.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But also another thing that was unexpected to me was how expensive life is. And like I feel like we don't live in a super expensive area, but I don't know, things add up. Like I have a lot of bills. Like
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like paying back like for things from college or like paying for insurance or paying for groceries or like paying for rent. Like all those things are like I knew they were going to be expensive, but I'm like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, I get to go do fun things, but also I have to actually pay attention to that. Like I can't just like buy whatever I want whenever I want to.
I know. I was updating my budget spreadsheet today and I was like, dang, like stuff is expensive. Even like going out to eat one time, like I could drop like $20 easy. Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
Guys, I have a story time. Oh my gosh. I
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know because I was just thinking about expensive things. So me and my friends, Megan was there, went to this speakeasy, which I'm not allowed to talk about apparently because it's not like people don't talk about speakeasies because they're illegal. Just kidding, they're not. And I spent $16 on a drink that wasn't even that good.
I thought it was 12.
Okay, well I tipped.
You tipped $4?
Well, they already had the tip amount and she was right in front of me.
Is that not like 33%? 25%?
It was almost
33%.
$13 and then
Dang.
I think there was tax maybe. There's tax
Okay.
on drink.
Anyways,
$16. It was like $16.
Wow.
And then
That was an itty bitty little drink.
yeah, it wasn't even that good. And I was like, bro, I'm literally paying $16 for this one drink. That wasn't even that good. And like that's expensive. And then I got a parking ticket.
I forgot that was the same night.
Yeah, and so I was like, wow, I just spent so much money on things that like I didn't even expect. And it was okay, the parking ticket was $15, so it wasn't that deep. But like I just spent $31 on things that I didn't want to spend money on. And
Yeah.
like that's not like super expensive, but sometimes things like that just like come up and I'm like, man, I didn't realize like when I was in college I had paid most of my like I paid my tuition before I went to college,
Mm-hmm.
like for the semester. And like, yeah, I'd sometimes have to get groceries, but that wouldn't be like super, super expensive because I also had a meal plan. And so like things like this, I'm like, yeah, I was probably paying more to go to college, but I had already paid it, if that makes sense. Like now
Yeah.
I'm like paying money more frequently.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, all these random things that I'm just having to pay money on.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I've become a lot more conscious of what I spend my money on versus college. It was just like, okay, give them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and now you just don't have to pay anything for months.
Yeah.
Which I feel like now it's different. Like, I don't have to pay anything up front, but like I pay as I go for like food and stuff like that.
That was actually like something that I really struggled with when I first started, like getting my own money and like having to pay for things. Like my whole life, like I was told basically to like, my philosophy was don't spend money. Like I just wasn't somebody that was like super materialistic or like wanted to buy a lot of things or like buy a lot of clothes or like makeup or things like that throughout basically all my life. And now I'm like, it was really hard for me to just go from not spending a lot of money to like spending a whole bunch of money. And then people, like my parents were like, Kelly, this is literally what you like, this is what people do is they spend money. Like you have to spend money. You can't just not spend any money, because I would like be like so worried that my grocery bill was so expensive. And I'm like, that like I literally have to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to eat. That's something I have to do. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to like Target and get a little something, you know. And now I want to go and get a sweet treat, you know.
She's a
like,
material girl now.
I gotta calm down because that's dangerous.
If it's in the budget, that's fine.
Yeah. So much of my budget is just like fun stuff, and I just put a whole bunch of money there. Because also sometimes it's just fun, like, I don't know, if somebody's hosting something or like something like that, I'm just like, I just want to bring something or I want to buy something for somebody, or like like it's fun to spend money like that and like give it to other people in forms of like gifts and food and stuff. So
Speaking of food, I was gonna like talk about cooking, and I know you just like mentioned your grocery bill, but how do you feel about not having a meal plan anymore in college and having to be responsible for every single one of your meals?
Low key, I still don't know how people do it. I'm like,
we've been doing it for 8 months.
I know, I kind of forget that I do, because I do a lot of like meal prep. Like at the beginning of the week, I'll just decide what I'm gonna have, and I just have the same thing the whole week. Or then I'll like go out and eat food with friends, or like people have us over, and then it's like I don't have to worry about meals like that. But like that's something I think I really want to work on. But I'm like, what do people like make? You know, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I literally don't know what to make this week.
Yeah.
And like you just have to think of that off the top of your head. And like sometimes that's like annoying. But at other times I actually really like cooking, because I'll just like turn on my music. Well, I really like meal prepping, I should say. Because I turn on my music and I like get out my little recipe, and I'm like, okay, I gotta cut up these vegetables, and it's just so cute. And then I gotta like put this in the oven and like boil this, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of relaxing when I'm in the mood to do so. Especially when it's like I'm really excited to cook for other people. Like I don't think I'm a great cook by any means, but like I feel like once I have a family, it would be so cute to just be like, okay, you guys are gonna have this for supper tonight, and then you just like cook a little something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's really difficult to cook for one, because like Kelly and I don't like usually eat meals together. Like we're just like separate on our food, and so like I'm just making food for me. And so I feel like I don't almost ever make like a full meal and just like have it for me. And so honestly, like I agree. I don't know what I eat sometimes. I'm like, what do I eat? Because I feel like I never cook, but I eat all 3 meals every day. And so I'm like, what? I literally don't know what I eat. But also sometimes like I'm kind of spoiled because my mom will still like make me food and then like send it with me. Like when I go home, she's like, here, have soup. And then I have soup for like 3 meals that week. And then we'll go out to eat. And then I'll like make a pizza, and then like I'll have friends over, so then I'll make food, because also like I do that. But most of the time when I cook like an actual meal, it's not just for me, it's for like a group of people. And so like yeah, I feel like once I'm responsible for cooking for more than just me, that like I'll cook a lot more. And like I feel like I'm a good cook. It's not like I love cooking, but like I feel like I can cook. That's fine. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the financial part of it, like I can really save money on groceries if I want to, because like I stacked my pantry like when we first moved in, and if I really wanted to, I could like not go shopping for like probably 2 weeks and still survive on all the things we have. But then when I do go grocery shopping, I drop like $150,
Yeah.
which is kind of a lot for just me and food. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the concept of food is weird because I'm like, what do I eat all day, every day? I don't know. I literally
like
couldn't tell
trying to
you.
think. I'm like, I don't know. A lot of it is the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's healthy stuff, but it's like very, like, I have carrots a lot. Or like apples and clementines. Like, those are kind of, because also, like Megan said, like, with having just one person to cook for, I'm like, I really would like to get like a whole bunch of fruit. Like, so I lived with my grandparents for a little while I was transitioning from living at home to finding an apartment, and they would have like so many different fruits, and it was incredible. Like, I could have raspberries for one meal and blueberries for the next, and like bananas for breakfast and kiwi and like all these like different fruits, and it was so great, and I loved having the variety. But realistically, if it's just me eating all this fruit, like I literally have to be the one that eats all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't, and like that stuff goes bad pretty quickly, like in comparison to like apples and oranges. And so now I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to stick, like I'll choose like, okay, I'll have apples and oranges and grapes, and grapes will be my like gotta eat quicker fruit. So that's kind of not super great.
Yeah, I feel like monitoring my food stresses me out. Like that causes me stress because then I'm like, how long has this loaf of bread been in here? Like, is this cheese going to expire? Like, how long has this milk been open? And like you said, like the fruit goes bad. So I have to be like, oh, well, I'm like last week I went for like 5 meals in a row where I wasn't eating at home. And so I was like, I need to like give Kelly the salad because like it's going to go bad if I don't eat it because I'm not going to even have a meal where it's available. And so I feel like stuff like that like kind of stresses me out. Also, I feel like in some ways we're very like spoiled Americans that like sometimes I'm just like, Megan, just throw away the food. Like it's okay. Like if it just goes bad, like I'm like, give yourself a break so I don't like get myself worked up into a tizzy about like a stupid avocado or something like that. But
I feel bad doing that.
Yeah, I try really hard like not to waste food, so I think that's why it stresses me out so much. I feel like I have to have a plan for everything in the fridge.
I definitely have a carton of eggs that's spoiled, and my milk spoils tomorrow.
Those stay good for weeks though. Eggs stay good for weeks.
I know, but I like don't see, that was the problem. I wanted to make chocolate chip cookies because I just really wanted a sweet treat that I made, and I only needed like 2 eggs, and I had like a dozen eggs, and I think I used like maybe one other egg, and now like I feel bad because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all these eggs?
Make eggs.
Like, you can't, but I don't really like eating eggs.
Yeah, I'm not a. Sometimes eggs just give me the ick. Like,
they really do.
I can eat about one hard-boiled egg a month, and after that, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
And like scrambled eggs, I'm like, ooh. But my grandpa makes a mean poached egg, and those are superior. It literally is so easy though. You just put it in like
shout out Kelly's grandpa.
Poacher? What do they call? No, that's not what I mean.
What are you talking about?
Like poached eggs.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't a poacher like somebody who kills animals illegally?
Yes,
but that's not what I mean. I mean like, oh, you'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
however you cook poached eggs, he has like a thing that, anyways, and that's literally all you do is just crack the egg in there, and then it like cooks, and then you put some salt and pepper on it. Anyways, love me a poached egg. That's the moral.
Well, you should have used your eggs to make poached eggs.
I don't have the poacher thing.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sorry. I just feel bad, you know? I have some Fruit Loops though, so I have to use that milk.
Yeah, you do.
Also, if anybody makes fun of the way I say milk, I'm sorry. I just say milk.
Milk?
I say milk.
Milk?
Milk.
M-E-L-K.
Yes,
milk.
but apparently it's like...
That'll be a meme.
I don't even know. I don't know why I say that, but...
I can see the meme in my head already.
Milk.
Look for it on the Instagram.
I I swear.
I have an idea. Remind me about that later.
When you listen to this podcast, you'll be reminded.
Megan's made all the memes so far if you enjoyed the memes, so thanks.
Yes.
Anyway, do you like not living at home? How do you feel about like being independent in an apartment?
I love not living at home. And I love my family, so all my family members who are listening, this is not
Hi, Kelly's family.
This is not a diss on you. I love you very much, and I want you to know that. But anyways, there's just something about having my own like space, like being able to like not even decorate, just like literally having my own space where I make my own decisions and like I'm not feeling like there's like your parents are literally supposed to kind of be in charge of you in some ways. Like especially when you're younger. Like I imagine like being a parent, it would be very hard to like be like, okay, once you're 18, like I no longer like I guess tell you what to do sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just the reality of like living with your parents of like you have to live under their rules and like it's not like my parents are super strict or anything, but I just oh I just love having my own space and like being able to host people and like not have to ask like, hey, could I have friends over? Like I can just do what I want or like not have to tell them when I'm going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess I'll tell you sometimes if it's like I don't normally though.
Yeah.
But like it's just for like safety reasons sometimes they'll be like, hey, I'm coming back now. But like I can just do what I want and like not have to worry about I don't know, being around, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just really nice.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of my favorite parts of not living with my parents, like just the freedom of getting to come and go as I please. And not that, like, see, at the age I'm at now, like, even I lived at home this past summer and it's still, like, they didn't tell me, no, you can't go anywhere. But it's still, like, I'd wake them up when I'd get home. And sometimes I got home at, like, 2 a.m. and they'd be like, huh, hello? But, like, I'm an adult and I can do what I want, but also I'm under their roof and then I, like, felt bad. Whereas, like, last night, I rolled in at 2 and Kelly was asleep. And I was like, hey.
No, I wasn't. I heard her come back.
Okay, well, Kelly heard me come back at 2. But, like, I don't know. I feel like in some ways it's nice to have people, like, looking out for me. So sometimes I like when, like, there's someone, like, waiting for me to text them, like, that I'm home safe. Like, that makes me feel like, okay, somebody is, like, going to be aware if I, like, die on the road. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, I just like being able to come and go and nobody, like, says, wow, you should be home now or, like, whatever. Like, I like that freedom. I feel like for me, like, there are parts I miss about living at home. Like, my mom is, like, she's so great. Like, when I'm at home, like, she cooks all the meals. Like, I feel like I help around the house, but, like, she's never really, like, help around the house. And, like, I feel like she's just, like, such a hard worker. And so, like, this summer when I was living at home, like, she did all my laundry. Like, she made all the meals. Like, she cleaned everything. Like, it was just so nice. It was so great. I didn't have to lift, like, a single finger. And I was like, I am so spoiled right now.
Yeah, I really do miss the home cooked meals.
Yeah. And, like, for people that are, like, adulting now or, like, working and, like, just living at home, like, you save so much money living at home. Like, thinking about all the things that I pay for, like, I pay for rent, I pay for electric, I pay for water, I pay for food, I pay for Wi-Fi, like, just all this stuff that I wouldn't have to pay for if I was living at home. And so I feel like those are benefits, but also I really like the independence and freedom.
That's so real. I will say, going back to what you said about like having people wait for you, like to make sure you're okay, like I feel like my friends have turned into that of like the roads were like not great the other day and like I was hanging out with some of my friends and they were like, all right, now text me when you get back. Like I'm like, oh, like people are looking out for you. It's so they in some ways like become your family like that of like making sure that you get home safe. And like sometimes I'll give my location to people or like they'll give me their location and then it's like, okay, like make sure that you're home safe. And I'm like, like I don't know, it's like your chosen family a little bit. Which like they are your friends, but I don't know.
I agree. Makes me feel loved.
Yeah, it's very special. It's like being more intentional about like your family like loves you very much and at the same time like they didn't choose to be your family, but like your friends like are choosing to be there for you. And like yes, like when you're in a family like you have to choose to be there for your family members, but it's just different. with like friends and stuff. So
yeah,
that's a cool thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you have more things? We're at 44.
Not like crazy things.
Okay. I have a last question we could end with.
Okay.
It's just kind of fun. It kind of has to do with adulting, but also like I just thought of it as I was reflecting for my 2 minutes on the preparation for this podcast. If you had the chance to go back and be a certain age forever, the first part, like, would you go back somewhere in your past and be a certain age forever? And what age would that be? Ooh. The alternative would be like, no, I want to like keep aging. But like for this, like if you could pick an age, like what age would you pick to stay?
Okay, so like I want to be fun and like choose an age, but I think my actual answer would be like there's so much beauty in like each age and like I would want to keep aging, but I also want to play the game.
Okay.
So, Ooh. Oh, I remember really liking the age of 17, but I think I would probably See, I can't.
Ellie's face right now. She's so funny.
I can't. Like, I love where I'm at right now. Like, honestly, I really, really, really love being 22.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, maybe this age, or like, also, I really liked being 19. Like, that was a fun time of like sophomore year was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I don't think I could choose because when I was 17, I thought that 17 was the best age ever. When I was 19, I thought 19 was the best age ever. And when I was 21, I was like, oh, this is a perfect age because like now I'm like an adult kind of. And like also I can like go out to the bars and stuff if I want to, but also like I'm not graduated yet, so I don't have to like figure out what to do with my life. But I love the age 22. I can't choose. I can't actually choose. I think I would choose to keep aging because I think there's beauty in the aging, but also like at the same time, I have a lot of fear of like getting older. So I don't know. What'd you say?
I actually didn't think of an answer before this, and I think that's weird because I also like. I think 17 was great. I think the year of 16 and a half to 17 and a half, which is super specific, but like that was my favorite high school year. So that was like mostly my junior year of high school. But I also feel like I'm really glad I'm not a teenager anymore. So then I was going to say 21 because I feel like 21, I was still like young, which like 22, I was just like, oh, I feel old until I hang out with older people. And I'm like 22 is still not old. But I feel like 21, I just felt younger. But also then I could like drink and I was like old enough to be in my 20s. And so I feel like I probably would have said 21. But also I feel like I just really like the person I've become since I've turned 22. And so I wish I could like be who I am now with all my knowledge and maturity at 21, which does not make sense. But also
like it does.
Yeah. But also I don't think I'd necessarily want to be like a senior in college 21. I'd want to be like a me 21 right now.
So you basically want to be where you are right now, but just 21.
Yes.
Right. Why not just be 22?
I don't know. I like 21. That's fun. Okay.
I like, honestly, this makes me realize like how much I really love life right now. Like I love being 22. Not even like I don't even really care about me being 22.
I don't know about you,
but like I'm kind of feeling 22. Anyways, but yeah, I'm loving where I am. So maybe that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Maybe I want to say 22 forever. But then it like seems like there's nothing better to come, and there's always something better to come.
So. But see, that's what you've thought now since you were 17. So probably when you're like 24, you're going to be like 24 is the best year. Who knows?
Yeah, but I don't know. There's some ages that just weren't as good.
That's true. But I feel like 24 sounds kind of cool.
That's true.
But so also I really like 22. But I like 21 a little more. Too. So
or 24 or 25. 25.
I like the even numbers. Except for 17, 19, and 21.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Okay, never mind.
Bruh.
I don't know.
I like the even numbers.
I don't like 23 doesn't sound nice. I like 24 better.
I feel like 23 will sound nice once we are actually 23.
Probably. Because I didn't really like 22 until I'm 22 now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why, because I like 21 so much. I didn't really want to turn 22.
Yeah, but 22 is even, and I thought you liked even numbers.
Yeah, but I like 21. I don't know. 21 was just superior.
But see, 22 seems better because, like, 21 seems like, oh, like, you're just getting to be 21 and, like, you're just wild and crazy.
Yeah, that's why I liked it.
Oh, well, I'm thinking, like, 22-year-old, like, you're more respected, you know?
I still don't feel respected at 22. Like,
Okay.
I feel like once you get 24, you'd be respected.
See, that's the thing. You're always going to be like, once I get to this point, I'm going to be this.
Yeah. You gotta appreciate where you are now.
That's right. On that note.
Should we be done?
Yeah.
Good stop it. She said, yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of, the Wicked, where it's like, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to embarrass myself. But the riff that's like, oh,
at the end of Defying Gravity? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Like, but I didn't want to do it, and then it'd be like on the recording, and people are like, wow,
you kind of did.
Yeah,
not
but
really.
I did it in like a very quiet, demure, mindful way.
Okay. Sorry. Whatever. Okay, let's be done. That's enough.
Okay.
We love you all, whatever age you are.
No matter what age you are, I know you are loved just the same.
Yes. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye.